A new report is bringing to light the massive waste of taxpayer dollars in California. And it might just be the tip of the iceberg. Gavin Newsom's $200 million spending spree on the Headquartered mental health program reportedly only treated 22 residents over the course of 4 years. Despite the fanfare and the promises that it would fix the state's homeless problem and help up to 50,000 Californians, California happens to be, as Spencer Pratt was talking about the other day, one of the places where homelessness is the worst. And so once again, Dagan, we look at these figures that are sky high, $236 million to help 22 people. What is wrong with the system when you are spending that kind of money and you can't actually allocate it properly?
I guess he's trying to show up Bill de Blasio's wife, who got about $1 billion for her mental health program and essentially set fire to it. This is a broad statement, and Larry likes specificity and quantitative analysis of these situations, but I'm giving you qualitative. Because what happens is, if any of these liberals, these lunatics, actually solved the problem of homelessness, of the dangerous mental illness that we see in our streets, the money would dry up. That it is a circular feeding frenzy, that the bigger the problem is, the more money gets poured into it. And the liberals and the bureaucrats siphon the money off. It doesn't go to the people in need. That's why you see the homeless problem worsening in California as the budgets go up. Because if you actually fixed it, the money goes away. And you talk to people, particularly on the left coast, people in Portland, people in Seattle, who are on the ground doing outreach to the homeless. I think the majority of homeless are dual diagnosis. They're drug or alcohol addicted and suffer from mental illness. That they know that the money is just wasted or stolen because if you fix it, the funding goes away.
That is sad, and it's twisted, Brian. Let's not fix the system because we don't want to. We want the checks to keep coming, but we'll waste the checks and not do what we need to do because we rather do that than fix it and actually help people.
There's a lot of people who are employed in the business of shoveling this money out to other people, and if they solve their problem, their job, they don't want to be homeless. They want to keep their job shoveling out someone else's money. The systemic problem is the spending of other people's money. So I guess what I want to know is, because this is true in Minnesota, right? Minnesota was wasting all this money, but it was federal money. So it was taxpayers from other states who were funneling it through Minnesota and then to Somalia. So why can't we just have a rule where you just have to pay for your own thing? Like, what if California could only spend California's money? Then I wouldn't care. We wouldn't even have to talk about it on this program, because if the Californians don't like it, they could do something about it, right? The reason we have to talk about it is because it's my money, I think, in California. Well, you know how I feel about California,
and you
Taylor.
know how
I don't want to spend my money there.
Brian.
Well, and that's fine, and you don't have to spend your money there either.
Larry, I do this for you.
Raise the wealth tax. Watch people leave. They're going to lose 4 congressional seats in the 2030 census.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Big number. New York's going to lose 2. I mean, that's, they're getting their just desserts. Stuff doesn't work. I don't know anything about this program. I'm reading what we have in the rundown. It sounds like they didn't even do the program, for God's sake.
Right.
I mean, mental health is a problem. Homelessness is a problem. And we ought to try to solve those problems, okay? But I have no idea. This thing just looks like it wasn't even tried.
Yeah,
so
like the 7 houses that have been rebuilt in the wildfires.
And $250 million in round numbers, and only 20 people got. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, and here's the problem. In 2024, Gavin Newsom vetoed legislation that would have required an audit for the state-run homeless program because you don't want to do an audit. He said that was too much work. There would have to be too much work that went into that. So you have governors who veto audits, maybe Governor Walz, maybe Gavin Newsom, because they don't want you to maybe see what's under the hood or be accountable for taxpayer
To
money.
pull the veil, the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Pull the curtain back. What do you got?
Private sector is forced to have audits.
It's it's too bad. But you have this new assistant attorney general appointed today or announced today
McDonald?
for fraud,
His name?
Yeah,
Yes.
investigate all the generic welfare-related fraud. This is a good thing. I don't know if they, how they're going to set it up and put it through different agencies, but it's time to take a look at this. I mean, go back even to Elon Musk, okay? He was right.
Yeah.
He was right. Go back to that GAO number of whatever it was, $550 billion. That number was right. And so, now you're just catching up here, and it's high time to do it. A good Democrat, a good smart Democrat would sign on to investigating welfare fraud. I mean, really, they're so stupid. That party is just so ugly.
Larry's
Are there any
looking for a
left?
good,
Are there
smart
any
Democrat.
smart Democrats left?
I don't know. You'll have to invent one or something.
If you want to solve homelessness, though, and the crisis of severe mental illness, you absolutely have to have more state long-term psychiatric hospital beds. We are at a record low number in this country. It is 36,150, which is fewer than 11 beds per 100,000 of the population.
Wow.
And it's going every year in the wrong direction.
And
it started in the early 60s under Kennedy.
Well, I agree. I agree about that. But even here, like, we've had this terrible cold snap, and Mandami, the mayor, the collectivist socialist mayor, and he just insists that we leave homeless people on the street. And so, as I recall, in the New York Post, 10 of them died from frost, cold.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's terrific. So he's just take credit for killing 10 people because he thinks he's some kind of socialist savior of homeless people. That is wrong. They should have been kept off the street and put someplace. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know where, but they should. What is it at night? -5? I mean,
it's
that kind of
bad.
stuff.
Awful.
Nobody could survive that. I mean, that's heartless. is
Sometimes
what
you
that
need to
is.
do things for people's
Right.
own
That's
good.
right. That's right. And he's proud of it, this jerk.
Right.
Okay. He's so happy. Oh, we left the homeless on the streets. Terrific. 10 died. That's his blood. His blood's on his hands.
Yeah.
Well,
All
it's
right.
because he doesn't enforce the policies put in place by Mayor Eric Adams to involuntarily commit people who aren't self-caring. That was something Mandani has ignored that Adams did.
Yeah, they don't. Well, he doesn't want to go down that road for his own reasons, but people suffer, and everybody else suffers as the community suffers.